Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is many a true nerd, and welcome to Railway Empire 2, a game I have been waiting for quite some bloody time, because, as you may have noticed, I love a good train game. I just find a deep level of joy connecting cities together with railway lines, and to my mind, the best one, the gold standard against which I judge every other train gamer, is Railway Empire. Brilliant game, just nails everything I love about train games, and here we are years later, and we've got Railway Empire 2, which is basically the same thing, but bigger and prettier, and oh, I've been looking forward to this. So, what this game is about is building a railway network up, and it starts off nice and simple. You just pick a town you like the look of, and try and support them by feeding it raw resources. But as time and technology moves forward, and populations grow and get a bit more fussy, yes, things can get complicated fast. And all of a sudden, you're managing complex industrial supply chains that span entire continents. But that's all to come. You see, we start off in 1830, which is a very important year in the history of the railway, because 1830 is the year that the first ever intercity rail link came into service. And this milestone was achieved in northern England, linking Liverpool with its neighbour Manchester, so oh, go on then, how about we kick off our railway empire right there too? So, welcome to the bright lights and bustling streets of Liverpool in 1830, where the town has been, yes, recently graced by the arrival of my brand new rail company, North West South Eastern Railways. So, yes indeed, it's time for us to leap into action and help this town out a bit. Because as I say, what this game is about is supply and demand. Cities need certain goods to grow, I'm the one that needs to supply them. And right now, Liverpool is not doing so hot. It's not growing because simply there's not enough goods for it to do so. So alright, let's have a little bit of a look-see at what we need. So, right, the problem is lack of food in particular. We need to get ourselves grain and we need corn, because people would like to be eating grain and corn. And right now, they're not getting any at all. So let's just zoom out a bit and see what we can do about that, because would you believe there is a massive grain farmer right here in Wales. Magnificent. So, step one, slap down a station right here in Liverpool. Congratulations guys, you've now got yourself a train line. Sorry to anyone who lives in these houses, by the way. We did kind of just sort of, migrate you a little bit. And next up, nice and simple, we need to, yes, get some of this grain to Liverpool. And this is what was lovely about the original Railway Empire, and it's so lovely here as well, which is it knows when to be complicated and when to keep things simple. So basic railway building is nice and fast, nice and simple, nice and smooth. You can get some basic trains down super quick and easy. Literally just slap a station down anywhere in range of this here building, and as a result we can access any resources the farmer's sitting on. And as for track construction, okay, well we want the track to, start at this station right here, and we would like to run it straight over to Liverpool. Just click that in, boom, nice and easy. Aside from one slight issue, which is, yes, there is a mountain in the way. So, because that mountain is apparently, yes, too steep, we kind of have to go under it via a tunnel. So that is not what we want to do. No. We're going to be needing to, work around that, perhaps. So that's nice and easy. Simply click on a point right here. And now, start moving the train to wherever you think would make a bit more sense. You can keep an eye on, yes, how much it costs and how far you're actually going right here. So, okay, let's just try a couple of orientations until we get this right. Because basically, we don't want to do tunnels, alright? Laying rail is nice and cheap. Bridges and tunnels, they're a bit on the, yes, pricey sides. So okay, starting from our lovely, lovely grain field here, we simply, yes, set off, start bearing round to the left to avoid the mountain, because yes, the track could get a bit steep otherwise. We've got to be down inside this ditch over here. So that's removed every single tunnel, but right now we do also have a bridge. And I think we could potentially do without that. Just move you ever so slightly more in this direction. There we go, look at that. Bridge has been eliminated, cost is down to 122,000. Once happy with that, just click the build button, no need to wait for it to be done, it's done immediately. Okay, with that in place, let's get a train set up because, once again, this game makes the basics so nice and easy. So, set up a new rail line, please. Time to set up where you're going to be going. So, yes, start at this station right here, pick up the grain, take it to Liverpool, and then repeat. Job flipping done. And because the year is 1830, we've literally only got one train available, the Rocket, that was indeed the locomotive that ran the Liverpool-Manchester Railway. So this here is the Liverpool grain train. Get you underway, buddy. Mag-flipping-nificent. And here she comes in for her maiden voyage. Don't worry about carriages, they just appear with the train picking up as much stuff as it's capable of pulling. As time goes by, obviously, it will be more capable of bringing in more goods. Mag-flipping-nificent. So, yeah, it's just going to load itself up with a giant pile of everything. Beautiful. And in just a second, we're going to get into, yes, the true wonderful majesty of this game, which is you can just ride along in the train. So yes, you appear to be ready to go. So how about, buddy, there's just some people chatting about this exciting new train development we've got right here. And, oh yes, here we flipping go. The Northwest Southeastern Railway is now on the cooking move. And, oh, good job, buddy, you're doing well. As we wander into the mountainous terrain of Wales on our beautiful hot pink engine, just bit slowly, to be honest, because we are going, yes, a fair bit uphill, and also it is going to get there. It's just going to be a bit on the slow side, like going up the hill. But once we get to the top of the hill, it's going to be a lot faster going down the other sides. And while we're waiting on that, okay, it's time to very literally make history happen. Build a brand new station right here in Manchester. Be flipping beautiful. Fortunately, yes, there's no mountain between Liverpool and Manchester, so this should be much easier. So just, yeah, take a track number 2 right over there. Link that into maybe, you know what, platform 1 for Manchester. That's absolutely fine. Marvellous. Nice and cheap there. We might be able to, yes, just knock a tiny amount off the price just by lowering this a little bit. There we go, down to 86. Build that. Spectacular. Because goods aren't the only thing we need to be transporting. Instead, there's also people. People want to be 1, moving from city to city, and 2, sending mail from city to city. Generally, cities close by to each other are gonna have the most demand for that. So, yes, 21 people in Liverpool right now are waiting to get to Manchester, together with 7 very important letters. So, just set you up nice and quick. Once again, nothing but the Rocket is available, and, yes, funny old thing about the Rocket. As I mentioned, this was the train that pulled the very first ever in-city service between Liverpool and Manchester. Yes, rather funny old thing about that. On literally its first journey, this was the first ever in-city rail journey, the train ran someone over. And the person it ran over was the Member of Parliament for Liverpool, because, yes, sometimes history is just a weird and wild thing. And here she is, you are literally witnessing a history right now as this train generates, yes, a small carriage full of passengers, spec-flippin-tacular, probably some, yep, there's a mail coach right there. This is not strictly historically accurate, by the way. The very first carriages back in 1830 were actually completely open top. So, yes, they would not have had coverings like you see here. But you can't have everything, I suppose. Congratulations, you magnificent bastards. You are literally the first people in human history to be carried from one city to another via a regular train service. And yes, as you can see here, thanks to the lovely, lovely flat terrain, things are much, much faster on this journey. And you can even go right up to the cars, everyone looking very fancy indeed. My goodness, you got dressed up for this journey, I love it. You can even go inside the mail car to look at all the mail, which is just, oh, this game gets it. Meanwhile, back in Wales, okay, this train's still struggling to get up the hill. Right, so I may have made a slight miscalculation with the Liverpool grain train. But that's fine. I know how to fix this. If we just mosey on in this direction just past York. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Grain. It is like further away as the crow flies, but on the other hand, yeah, it would appear to be a very mostly longer flat path between it and Liverpool. So I feel like actually this might be the better option. So that's our new train station north of York, right by this lovely better grain estate. And what we're going to do is, yes, we're going to use this brand new terminal here to feed both Manchester and Liverpool, because both of them do need grain, and a growing Manchester is in Liverpool's interest too, because that means more people and mail going back and forwards on the express line. And we're gonna draw this nice and careful right here, so just bring it down a little bit towards Manchester, and yeah, this is all lovely and flat for the most part, so even though we're covering a long distance, yeah, there's barely any slope. This is absolutely a-okay. Oh, look at that. The entire journey from York through to Liverpool for only 117,000. Spectacular. Now, because this is further away, yes, we are potentially going to be running into trouble if we just run a single line. So, we're going to be needing 2 parallel lines. Beautiful. Unfortunately, that's very easy to do. So yeah, just click on the track to indicate you're going to be setting up a second parallel line. And then just merge it straight back in right there. Beautiful. In this game, you don't do signals manually. Instead, you just indicate, yes, which way down each track you ought to go. So, yes, they go down this way and back up on this one. The trains will then figure the rest out by themselves. So, step 1, get my new and improved grain train moving in the direction of Liverpool. Spectacular. And while that's just getting loaded up before we get the second one set up, let's also, yes, get Manchester hooked into the same system. So I just need to, yes, split this line over in this direction towards Manchester proper. So, one line that splits off of this big grain artery going down towards Manchester. Then we just need to, yes, have a line going back up so they can send their trains back in the same direction too. So there we go, you just go back in that direction, and yes, this means the lines will be crossing each other, but you know what, I'm going to work under the assumptions the signals will keep us safe. And at this point, there we go, I can see my little train if I zoom out there. Train line number 1, currently, yes, in the process of heading towards Liverpool. Let's get train number 2, going from this terminal, this time down to Manchester. Except, hang on, have I done something wrong here? Yes, I see what I did wrong. This bit of track was marked as this way only, so this can be, yes, neutral. Anyone could go along this track, so yes, the train can just turn around and get back onto its return journey. That should now be fine. There we go, I fixed it. Magnificent. Meanwhile, in all that time, I think possibly grain train number 1 has only just successfully managed to get its first load round here to Liverpool. So, okay, good. Good. Now, you're probably thinking, John, you're an idiot. That was a complete waste of time, wasn't it? And no, it wasn't. You're wrong. Now, this bit of the track, that was garbage, I'll give you. But as you can see right here, this bit is doing just fine. The train's going at 19 kilometers an hour, which, you know, isn't that fast, but it's 1830, it's pretty good. And grain's not the only thing Liverpool needs. Liverpool also needs beer, which is a refined good made from grain. One that gets produced just around the corner here. So absolutely flipping magnificent. How about we just forget about this stupid mountain pass and instead, yes, use this bit of track to link Liverpool with the beer supply. So just slap down a new station right there. Then we just need to link you, buddy, straight into, yes, this lovely flat bit of track here. Magnificent. Just, you know, making sure it's not ridiculously steep or anything. But it looks pretty good to me. And then to facilitate the beer trade, how about we use this station to just send more grain to the brewery? Okay, now that's gonna work a lot better. Okay, so the original Liverpool grain train is now going to be ever so slightly redesigned. which is to say it's not going to Liverpool anymore. Basically, screw that noise instead. Yes, you're just going to go back and forward, delivering grain into the brewery. Congratulations. And a new train is going to link Liverpool together with the beer supply. Though not just the beer, because yes, there are also people and mail that wants to get between the two cities. So yes, a nice fast train that can handle either would be fine. If I wanted to, I could say, hey, only carry freight or only carry express, which means people and letters. But on this occasion, no actually, it would be better for me to say take everything. We're just going to have a train roll up and it's going to be full of beer and letters from their friends in Wales and Welsh people too. It's going to be magnificent. And as Liverpool is kind of, yes, the centre of the entire network, probably best we give the station a bit of an upgrade. In particular, the trains are going to be needing a bit of maintenance, so set up a maintenance depot. That's a bit on the expensive side, but what can you do? And on top of that, yes, other buildings we need, supply towers, so that yes, when our trains pass major stations, they can pick up coal and water and sand, which they apparently need for reasons. Oh yeah, here she comes, the train we're all really waiting for, the beer and mail and Welsh people train, steaming along at a majestic 12 kilometers an hour. It's better than the 2 we were managing before. There's definitely, like, you know, a little bit of going uphill going on, but like, it's nowhere near as bad. Once you get up to this lovely bit right here, it is smooth sailing all the way to Liverpool. Brilliant. Okay, the new system is working a lot bloody better, and you can tell because we've now got towns with green arrows next to them. Liverpool is growing, it's now past 20,000, which means yes, its people are getting a whole lot more fussy. So they've just started demanding sugar and cloth. Now fortunately, there is a sugar farm right down the road. Good old O'Connor's Sugar right there. So they're happy with sugar, that's coming in, yes, to decent enough rate by road to keep them satisfied. The beer is arriving en masse too, that's just brilliant. Wood is making it in, I'm pretty sure, by road from right here. Though these guys would apparently pay for a nice lovely connection into my network, so we may or may not choose to do that, given, yeah, Liverpool's got enough wood for the time being. But we do have a new problem. Liverpool has got one industry, the meat industry. It needs cows in order to make steak. So what we need to do is, yes, hook up this ranch into Liverpool so that, yes, the meat industry can produce way more meat, and on top of that, if Liverpool starts producing a meat surplus, it can ship the surplus back to Wales. So just slap down Bradley Terminal next to Bradley Ranch, which is, okay, kind of a hilarious name. It feels very American even though we're in the UK. But okay, here we go. A beautiful cattle ranch on the wide open plains of North Lancashire, apparently. So just create a slight spur off in this direction to platform. Okay, that feels like that's a lot of digging, to be honest, but it's only 27 grand, so I guess it's fine. You can have a lovely, lovely... No, seriously, you did not need a ditch that deep for this, but whatever. And then you, buddy, you need to leap through into, yes, this. Though once again, this is needlessly expensive, guys. Make sure you guys are matching the traffic as you should do. Spectacular. One trainer will do us for now. You guys should also be paying me a nice bonus for, yes, hooking you into the system. You're very welcome indeed. There we go. The cows are on their way on a lovely holiday to Liverpool. But yes, it's only 2 carriages of cows. Because we're not just shipping literally everything from point A to point B. The trains are only taking what there's an order for. So, yes, right now, they only need 2.4 cows per month, I assume. So as a result of that, they're only ordering 2 carriages worth. Otherwise, they'd end up with spare they don't need. It's the same reason that, yes, this train here doesn't always just bring a giant pile of grain back. Liverpool simply doesn't need it. And as we've hit April, okay, we get our first quarterly report. So, we've made £146,000 thanks to freight, but we've made only slightly less than that on, yeah, the extremely rapid express trains, which is honestly kind of interesting, because they are faster and easier to run. I mean, in that case, screw it. How about we just start shipping people and mail between Birmingham and York too? Because in this game, people are smart. They don't insist on having a direct link from point A to point B. They're very happy to go and wait somewhere. So I could use Liverpool as like a big transfer hub for the entire north of England. Okay, Birmingham, welcome to civilization. You've now got a train line. I've just noticed the incredibly large mountain between Birmingham and Liverpool, but that's fine. We learnt our lesson last time. We're just going to stay on the low ground. It's gonna be fine. There we go. Just skirt around the giant mountain full of coal and whatnot. Begin building that. Apparently I was supposed to be, yes, linking Birmingham together anyway. Spectacular. And you know what? Sooner or later, we're probably going to be wanting to, yes, do like, you know, more complicated trade with Birmingham. So for only 90 grand, yeah, let's get a parallel line built right now. Spectacular. Make sure these are properly, marked so people are going one way or the other. Beautiful. And then we want to do precisely the same thing to, York. So we can just have this line be extended. So we could have, a multi-stage stop between Liverpool, Manchester, straight onto York, all one single service. So okay, train arrives into platform 1. Then all we do is, we merge you into this line right here. Then just nice on the open path over here. Nothing dramatic going on at all. This area is lovely and flat. There we go. We've now got a new line going in that direction. Just needs to be a single line because for the time being, we're not going to be running more than one train. So okay, Liverpool-Manchester line, and now we just add on York on the end. And then we can just go, straight back to Manchester, straight back to Liverpool. Job done. No reason not to, stop in Manchester on the way back. That's absolutely fine. Straight back to Liverpool. This can now be, specifically marked as express only, though then again, actually, you know what? No. If it's not, York is actually producing beer. So York can feed beer to Manchester. Brilliant. And on top of that, we can actually ship meat along this line too. Okay, so then again, actually, John, this does mean our express train is going to be slowed down by cargo. And then again, actually, you know what? It's not such a big deal yet because we've only got one type of train. Once we get into, multiple different kinds of trains, at that point, we might have to start thinking about, express lines for the light fast trains that can't deal with freight, and freight lines for the big chunky engines that can't do speeds. I can't help but notice that I'm making good money with passengers and mail right now, but what I don't have is cloth. But down over here in Oxford, they do have cloth, because they've actually got, near enough by wool that they can get it by road. So if I just extend the Birmingham line down to Oxford, which is like no distance at all, 1, Oxford people can now access the entirety of the north, and 2, we're going to start shipping clothing up to Liverpool, which is going to be really bloody good for keeping that society growing. Right, line it up nice and easy so it fits into, the Birmingham route, no problem. Add Oxford onto the end, bring it back to Birmingham, and there we go. Then it just loops back to Liverpool, job done. Okay, we may be running into some unintended consequences right here, which is, the Liverpool-Manchester line has immediately become completely clogged up with giant piles of meat, which I assume is because, they're now just loading up meat to send to York. So, Manchester loaded the meat onto the train. Liverpool doesn't fucking want it, but because the train's now clogged up with meat, people can't actually... Right, okay, so the moment we need to, separate out the express trains and the freight trains, it turns out it's now. Okay, let's get this sorted out here, which is, the Liverpool-Birmingham line. When you leave Liverpool, you may not take meat with you. However, when you reach Birmingham, you may use spare capacity, picking up meat, which you can then drop off in Oxford. But on the way back, you must definitely not pick up the meat, because otherwise it's going to reach Liverpool, which doesn't need it. And the same is going to be true here. Liverpool can sell its excess meat over to Wales. It does not need to be shipping it along this line to Manchester. So, please ignore meat on this stage of the journey. And on this stage of the journey too. That's absolutely fine. So that should help alleviate the problem. But Manchester may ship its meat to York, and York can send its beer back to Manchester. Okay, here we go. First ever train reaches down into Oxford. This is the Liverpool-Birmingham-Oxford line. I should probably rename that. It's mostly carrying passengers and mail that desperately have been backing up trying to get to Birmingham for some time. But it's also taking a tiny bit of cloth for... No, not for Birmingham. It's supposed to... Okay, fine. I need to rethink this entire network. This entire network is not doing what I want it to. Okay, bare minimum, let's check that, yes, everything's going right on the new look Liverpool-Manchester-York train. So, you guys should be able to offload, yes, some passengers and, yes, a pretty damn big pile of meat right here in York immediately. This should clear out the meat. So, you just take care of that. There we go, picking up some bonuses for connecting various towns together. Please continue offloading the meat. There we go. Just sell all the meat to York. Brilliant. Now you should be picking up additional passengers and mail. And on top of that, beer for Manchester. But I want, yes, priority to go to the passengers and the mail. But there should be a whole glut of passengers right now. Because, yes, York's been waiting for some time to be connected. So, okay, now this is working. The beer gets unloaded at Manchester, and now a giant pile of passengers and mail is arriving into Liverpool, and, okay, I fixed it by just setting the train to behaviour correctly. It's all fine. Meanwhile, okay, hang on, I swear we had more trains going down towards Birmingham. Right, here goes that is... there we go. Birmingham has loaded up its excess meat, which it is now shipping down to Oxford. And it would only load it up if there is a demand for that meat. So, yes, what I'm hoping is going to happen this time is, now that we've taken care of a bit of a backlog of customers and mail, Oxford will now load up the train with cloth that's heading back up north to Liverpool. Admittedly, it is complete historical gibberish that Liverpool would be so lacking in cloth that it needed to import it via train from Oxford, but what can you bloody do, eh? And gosh darn it, it's just not getting through. It's all being taken to Birmingham. Still, Liverpool doesn't need it for now. Liverpool is still, yes, very fulfilled, very much growing. It's all under control. Okay, this is all going nicely here, but yeah, there's no reason not to take some nice, quick, easy, cheap victories down south. So, yeah, we've got London here that's just swimming in beer, and Oxford here that just can't bloody get the cloth up north fast enough. So a nice, simple trade would do the job beautifully. Oh, and now this is looking like progress to me. So in Q2 1830, we made £1 million, up from 200,000 the previous quarter, so... okay, crack open the quarterly report here, and hang about Q2. Oh, flip me. Screw freight, we're a passenger service now. Speaking of which, Oxford, London, nice easy service, just backwards and forwards, no trouble whatsoever. You guys take whatever you bloody well feel like, marvellous. Though, yes, also can't help but notice we've got down over here, Dover's swimming in beer as well, and... I mean, the map is, shrunk down a bit from what it should be. So if we just kind of, mosey on over to the not white cliffs of Dover. France is looking really nearby, actually. Oh, but hello there. Someone else is already building in France. Because, yes, you've got AI competitors monopolizing resources. So, okay. This is unacceptable. No, 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 no. None of that. We need to build the Channel Bridge. I guess we could do the Channel Tunnel, but that's a lot more expensive. Bridges are cheap in this game. We're going to lay the groundwork right here. There's a beautiful meat production facility in northern France. And it would start growing if it just picked up a tiny bit of corn. And that we can most certainly take care of. No problem there whatsoever, buddy. So, just give me a moment. We'll be setting that up for you. In fact, while we're just shipping vegetables everywhere, hang on. There's a whole bunch of towns nearby that just aren't quite in range to receive them. So, okay, we can make some good money on the vegetable trade right here. So, okay, the beautiful Clermont farm right here. You guys just load yourselves up with vegetables. And we're gonna start putting together, oh yeah, a brand new French network. Though I can't expand it too much until such time as, yes, it's connected to the rest of the network. Yeah, I literally can't expand the vegetable trade until I've actually hooked this whole system up into the rest of everything. But that's fine, because what you guys need to do is sell all your meat. And I know precisely where you can sell it. Dover and London. Perfect. Now, I'm going to be honest, I haven't really, looked much into how much it's going to cost to build a bridge to France. But, generally, track's not that expensive, so I'm sure it's all going to be fine. Though, slight issue. You can't build, yes, railways into a town unless you're actually going to the station in that town. So, right, we might need to use Dover as a bit of a stopping off point. So, okay, cancel that planning for the time being. Hang on. We need to slightly extend the network here. I mean, there's got to be passengers wanting to go between Dover and London anyway. It's going to be fine. Okay, so I've made a strategic error, which is I'm now not allowed to build any more train stations at all until such time as I connect France into my network. But I can't really connect France into the network because Dover is literally blocking the most logical way for me to do so. Okay, so just out of interest, if I was to, yes, skirt around the edge of Dover to about here, so far, that only costs £160,000. That is really not that much. So basically, screw you, Dover. You're getting in the... Okay, that's getting expensive. That's getting really expensive really fast. I mean, then again, it's not that expensive. I mean, to be honest, I can almost afford that. Okay, hang on. Hang on. I think I can take loans out in order to build, yes, the world's most stupid bridge to get around the fact Dover's being a dick. That's absolutely fine. I'm just going to issue some bonds, whatever that means precisely. There we go. Only 1.4 million. Chicken feed. So we just get that down. Then we just, yes, have that looping in this direction. Then we just go for a lovely tour around the North French coast. Just 1.795 million. No problem whatsoever. And with that, we have successfully... Okay, this city just exploded. It's so happy to be forcibly connected against its will to the English. And here she comes, some no doubt slightly bemused tourists and a giant bloody truckload of meat. So, okay, you know what? No. This one, we're enjoying, okay? We're going along for the ride on this occasion. So just, okay, well, this is just rubbing it in. We've shown up with Union flags draped across the front of Northwest Southeastern Railways. Oh, yeah. Oh, flippin' yeah. Now this is good. Also, did I mention... You could blow the horn if that's what you want to do. Magnificent. So, goodbye, France, and say hello to... Is anyone dressed differently, by the way? No, they're all dressed the same. I was kind of hoping for berets, potentially. Oh, but here we go. On the ridiculous British-French linking railway. I'm pretty sure there we go. We're coming round the corner, and there she is. The giant, incredibly dumb bridge that I spent £1 million to build crossing the channel, which probably should have cost like half that, but Dover were being dicked, so screw Dover. You don't get delicious French meat, you stupid bastards. And here we go, out onto the water, spectacular. There's some lovely sheep and whatnot. That's probably Guernsey, right there, mag-flippin-nificent. And onto the ridiculously dumb long bridge we go. Honestly, this is quite a work of engineering. Tourists are going to be using this line just for the novelty of taking a train over the channel. I think in many ways, this is much more impressive than the Channel Tunnel. Because tunnels are not that aesthetically impressive. They're just a hole in the ground that goes on for a bit. But this is pleasant, okay? There'll be sea breeze and there's a nice view. And you can see Dover and London in the distance, which you shouldn't be able to. But as I say, we've scaled things down a bit. This is just, this is nice. And once again, you can just, blow the horn anytime you want to, which is always a delight too. Honestly, you bastards are not looking anywhere near impressed enough under the circumstances, given I've built a channel bridge in the year 1830. And here we go, leaving the water, re-entering the land. Screw you, Dover, you don't get a train station because you were dicks to me before. Instead, we're going straight on to London. So yes, basically, I've just invented a much more aesthetically pleasing Eurostar, like the better part of 2 centuries early. Okay, I will admit, the Q3 results look a little bit worse on account of the fact that we did spend £3 million on track construction. But, I mean, you can't argue with those growth figures. Okay, once again, passengers up like 100%. Freight up nearly 100%. I think we are on the right track here, if you'll pardon the pun, members of the board. And meanwhile, back up north in the Heartlands, okay, things are going very well. Liverpool is, I believe at this point, yes, the most populous city in the whole of the United Kingdom, the beating industrial heart of our nation at this point. Magnificent, growing fast, 36,000, almost 37. Meanwhile, poor old London Downer here, oh flippy dear. And these people are getting fancy. Now they want milk, soon they're going to be wanting vegetables, maybe even fruit at some point. So, okay, at some point we're going to have to start thinking about, yes, building entire new bloody industries. Because you could do that. You could just spend money setting up factories to support the cities you yourself are supplying with goods, though they are very, very expensive. Or you could just buy any private business in order to, yes, upgrade it to your heart's desire, as you might reasonably expect. Sorry, did I forget to mention the research and development system? Because, yes, obviously, over time, there is a century-spanning flipping series of upgrades, meaning every 10 years, brand new resources are going to be entering the map that you need to start making. The trains are going to get faster and faster, so you need to start rethinking your capacity, and just, oh yeah, oh flipping yeah, there is so much here. This game is huge in scale. You may notice, by the way, it's still 1830. I have been happily playing this for hours, and it's still 1830. And I have built a handful of lines between a handful of cities in one corner of the European map, which is a third of the size of the US one. So basically, well done Railway Empire 2, because you have lived up to what I was hoping for. Railway Empire 1, one of my favourite train games of all time, this lives up to the legacy. If you have got any interest in train games, give this a look-see. It is worth your time, and do not be surprised if at some point we see this in a live stream, because there is nothing I like more than just, you know, having an excuse to play a train game for many, many hours. Maybe we'll nip over to America and, you know, do some lovely railroad building over there. So, hopefully, you're looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd. And this has been the wonderful Railway Empire 2. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Jebediah Kerman has not exploded. Oh shit. Why did that happen? 5, 4, 3. Oh, I forgot to turn the thrust on. 5, 4. Is everything else? How is everything? Up to that point, that was going better than anyone expected.